Can you hear? Yeah? We're okay? Right, I don't know what's happening now, but that is the presentation. We're going to start. I'm going to start talking a little bit about me. I don't want this to be about me all the time. So I'll just fly quickly through my backgrounds, and then we'll go into the theme of today. I started doing photography when I was a teenager. My background is on journalism. I've got a degree on journalism, sorry, something happened there. Anyway, and also I have I did 2 years of photography back in Argentina, where I'm from, many years ago. I worked in a newspaper in Argentina for a few years. And then when I was 22, I had the chance to leave Argentina and come to the Middle East. So I originally went to Kuwait. I worked there for 5 years with another photographer. I was the assistant to another photographer. And then in 1990, during the Iraqi invasion of Kuwait, I moved to the UAE, and I started my own career here. So I've been here in the UAE for nearly 30 years now. That's pretty much what my background. I'm just going to go through very quickly through some promotional material that I made over the years, just for you to have an idea. What I don't only do action, and I don't only do sports. I do other stuff as well, which I enjoy very much. So you can have a look. I do a lot of commercial photography, a lot of car photography as well. But sports photography or action photography is what I really, really like. I enjoy all my photography, but if I have to choose, I will always choose. Are you okay there, guys, in the back? Yeah. So just very quickly, so you have a feel of what I normally do. Do a little bit of studio photography as well. I don't really enjoy every day to do studio photography. I like it when I get a studio assignment, but if it's once a month, I'm happy. Any more than that, then I get a little bit bored inside the studio. So I'm always out. I'm always out doing different things and traveling a lot in the country. Mainly the last few years, it's been mainly in the UAE. In the past, I used to do a lot of traveling in the region. And for many years, I went to the US to do this job that you just saw in the beginning. Right. Okay. Well, now we'll start to the serious bit of the chat. I just put together a few slides because with my background and when I go to an event, a sporting event, what is my main objective is to show in one picture, to tell the whole story. And that is very easy to say, and everybody says that, but when you come to the reality, it's very, very, very difficult to achieve. To be able to, in one picture, you have to summarize the whole event. You have to tell the whole story in one picture. And that's when I'm taking pictures of events, that's what I'm always thinking, how can I tell the story in one picture? What elements do I need to put together to tell the story? I think I went ahead a little bit of myself, but the main thing is when you're doing action is to capture the moment. Yeah, And we'll see some samples now. You know, I normally shoot with high speed. You know, I always try to freeze the moment. I like that moment to tell the story forever. I don't try to do art when I'm doing my photography, although I do sometimes. You know, I do slow shutter speed and movements and all that. That's absolutely fine. But 80% of my work is all capturing that moment in fast shutter speed, anticipate the moment. Well, this is, to me, this is one of my favorite football pictures, mainly because it's Messi and it's from Argentina. So that's why. But I have a little story about this. I'm not going to tell stories about each photos, but this one is quite nice for me, at least. This is in 2008, I think, or 2009, I can't remember, when Barcelona came to Abu Dhabi for the FIFA Club World Cup, which is like the World Cup of clubs. And they played and they won it, you know, against Estudiantes, another team from Argentina. This is the first match they played against a Mexican team. The goalkeeper, that's the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper also is from the Mexican team, but is another Argentinian guy. And Messi didn't come on from the beginning. So everybody was waiting for Messi. Everybody was waiting for Messi. So, you know, finally Messi comes on. I can't remember if it's at the beginning of the second half or at the end of the first half. I can't remember exactly. Let's say it's in the second half. So, you know, I just follow him. You know, I forgot about the match. I thought I'm going to stick with him. So I had my 400 lens, you know, and I was following him. I was on the side of the pitch, and I was following him. You know, when he came in, I remember now. He came in at the beginning of the second half. So you know, second half starts, and I keep following him, no, and he's running, you know, running without the ball. So I keep following him. Within, you know, 10, 20 seconds, you know, I keep following him, and then I see through the lens, because you can't see anything else. You just see that through the lens. I see that he gets the ball. So fantastic. So I keep following him. He goes past one guy, goes past the second guy. He goes past the goalkeeper and scores and celebrates. So, you know, for me that was showing, you know, what Messi can do. So, you know, it's for me that's a really nice story of Messi. Sorry? We'll have another discussion about football. All right. I do a lot of motorsports. My background is I started with rallying many years ago when circuit racing was not even considered here. So yeah. So now we're going to see a few slides of, you know, which I think is capture the right moment, you know. Another motorsport shots. These are very difficult. This is Jazz Marina Circuit. There are only two places that I know. I do a lot of work with them, and I cover a lot of racing there. And there are only two places that I can see where the cars can lift the wheels. And that is one, and the previous one is the one I showed you earlier. And that, it doesn't seem much here, but that is as much action as you can get, you know, in two wheels in a circuit, unless there's an accident, of course. I do a lot of rugby. You know, I'm the official photographer for the Rugby Sevens for 20 years or more. I can't remember now. Now my body is not helping me now as much as 10, 12, 15 years ago. But I used to spend the whole weekend in that corner, sitting on my little chair with a 400 lens, just following the action from 9 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night for 2 continuous days. That now for me is a little bit tiring, so my colleagues do that, or we take turns. This is also in Dubai. This is a Red Bull. Somebody knows what this is? I can't remember. No, this is in Dubai. This is Maidan. No, it's Maidan. It's Maidan, but I can't remember the event. It's a Red Bull event. Street challenge or something like that. Again, during the moment, that moment when when the flames come out of the car, and yeah, that's another event here in Dubai. It's called the Tough Mudder. It's these crazy guys that go running in the desert, and they go through all kind of obstacles. And then again, for me, normally when I do the action, I'll speak a little bit more when I see another picture, but is that moment of anticipation. It's not quite, when the guy actually makes it there. For me, that is, I already missed the moment. The guy already reached there. For me, capturing the right moment is exactly this. When the guy is about to reach and is in half, in full flight, and he hasn't actually made it yet, but you can see the anticipation, and sometimes you think, well, is he going to make it or not? But is that second just before he actually reaches his goal? And I think we'll see some more later on. Again, going back to rugby, again, a lot of the time I see pictures where, for example, I see pictures where these guys have already grabbed the guy, tackled the guy. I mean, for me, that is, again, is like I already missed the moment. For me, it's that moment of anticipation, a second before something happens. And when you see the picture, it makes you wonder what is going to happen. Did he catch him? Did he get through? And that is, for me, is what it gets me really excited to do action photography. Another example of action is the same event that I told you earlier, that Tough Mudder. This is perhaps not perfect catching the action, but capturing the moment. But I wanted to put this slide because I think polo is a very difficult game to photograph, at least for me. I mean, I had trouble. But again, when you see this, it's a little bit of anticipation and see what is going to happen. See the rugby, this is the moment where the guy is actually scoring a try. That tells you the story. The guy made it, is about to score. When he falls down, that ball is going to touch the grass, and that is a point. And the defeated guy that couldn't stop him. Again, not a sport as such, but it's again capturing the moment. Again, I using high shutter speed to capture the falcon, which is a very, very difficult bird to freeze really and to follow. When it's flying. So it's a good example of fast action, fast shutter speed. This is another event in Hatta. Sorry? Spartan, exactly. There it says there, yeah. You're cheating me. No, I didn't notice either. Anyway, same situation. You know, that is fire there, and the guys come running, and they have to jump over the fire. So that's, for me, that's perfect timing for that action. This is during the FIFA Club World Cup last year. I think it was last year or the year before in Alain. This is the Alain football stadium. And I just like, it's one of the ball boys at halftime, I think. You know, you will see a lot of wide-angle photography in my action photography. I love my wide angles. And again, you know, it's a nice, for me, that's really nice, composed. And, you know, the only contact the guy is making with the world is that. You see? He's on his toes. Everything else is in action. You know, everything else is in the air. And I love that, you know. Again, when you're doing action event photography, you try to be as clean as possible with backgrounds and to have a more pleasant picture, but it's not always possible. I would say it's very, very difficult to get a clean background. So you always have, for example, that, I mean, it's a little bit distracting, but also at the same time, if you look at it with a positive way, it's also telling you it's a corner, and you know, it's adding to the elements. For example, that also is a little bit distracting. That is distracting. That is distracting. But that's the way it is. I don't like to retouch things, you know, because basically I'm telling stories, and you know, and I feel, although sometimes I clean things, I mean, if I have dirt, you know, things that really, really bother me, and I think that they don't move away from the storytelling, then I will clean them. But in general, I try to leave it pretty much as it is. Now, when I'm doing commercial photography, it's different, you know, but when I'm doing editorial photography or reportage photography, then it's pretty much as it is. Again, it's actually the same thing as the previous picture. Look, the guy is pure action. Look, everything. Look at his face, and everything is action. You know, it's just standing there on his toes. This is in Yas Marina Circuit. It's during the triathlon event that they've run there for 3, 4 years, 5 years now. It's a big international event. And yeah, you will see, this is again a big wide angle shot. You know, a lot of the time I love to be very close to the action. Like you saw in the first picture that you saw of me running next to a runner. So that's what that's what I want to be. I want to be there where the action is. And this has a few technical problems, you know, but again, I'm telling stories. So, you know, it's pretty much as it is. It's a horrible day, you know, I think it was raining that day. So you see the sky. It would have been nice to have a blue sky, but we didn't. And then because I'm using a very wide angle, I think I got a drop of, you know, although I was cleaning all the time my lens, but, you know, when the action came, a drop was, so, you know, it's a little bit there, a little bit on his face. But anyway, you know, it is what it is. And I'm, you know, I really like the picture. So same, this is a similar event. It's the start of the swimming. Again, you know, that moment of anticipation, you know, like when I mean, all this action, to me, is telling you that the event is just started, you know. See, I love this. Same thing that I was telling you before, you know. Look, I think she's standing in one toe there. But again, everything is action. Look, everything is action. There is one thing also that I do, you know, that now in my, after having a, you know, 20, 30-year career and doing this stuff, this is an event, it's netball. It's an event that has been introduced recently during the Rugby Sevens. I don't know if you guys know about the Rugby Sevens. Yeah? Well, it's Rugby Sevens. Rugby here in Dubai is a big, big event. They have like 30, 40, 50,000 people over the weekend. And it's very, very popular. And 3 years ago, they started running this netball tournament parallel to the rugby. So, you know, I'm the official photographer there at the rugby. And I just didn't want to do a lot of rugby photography. So I organized for my colleagues to cover rugby under my supervision. And I said to myself, I'm going to take it easy this year, and I'm going to cover the netball. And I was really, really pleased, you know, because I'm always curious to do new things. You know, rugby, I've done it 20 years. So every year it gets a little bit repetitive. So I don't know what's going on, but anyway, I'm not touching anything. Anyway, so anyway, I went and I covered the netball tournament, and I really, really enjoyed it, as it was a new challenge for me to come up with good pictures, you know, or in a new event. Again, I mean, we were looking at pictures of Messi, which is arguably number 1 or number 2 in the world. I'm not going to argue with anyone about that, but you know, one of the 2 top best players perhaps ever. And here you have a nice picture of some amateurs playing football. Okay, I approach this game with the same way that I would approach Barcelona. You know, for me, it's exactly the same. And you know, I don't think who is playing, but I think, you know, I want to capture the action. And again, I mean, this is really nice for me. I mean, that tells, you know, that tells a lot of the story. You know, it's the action frozen in 1 second. Same thing, an amateur tournament, but again, good action and good storytelling, I think. I'm sure somebody will disagree. Feel free. Right. Okay. Well, we finished that, capturing the moment. So now I'm going to show you a lot of pictures when I have missed the moment. And you know, and when I was doing the preparation for the presentation, I was thinking, oh no, it'll be really difficult to find this. Where am I going to find when I miss the moment? And to be honest, I couldn't believe it. It was so easy. I miss it all the time. So, you know, so that made me think the times when I actually capture the moment, they are very, very unique. You know, it's perhaps 90% of the time I miss the moment, and so only 10% of the time I actually capture the moment, you know. But again, when you do the selection and you only show your good pictures, then you are a genius, aren't you? The secret is to be able to, no matter how many moments you miss, but to be able to actually capture one moment. You know, that is the secret. And that's, you know, you always have to strive to do that, you know, to, even if you miss, until you catch it, you know, until you capture the moment. Anyway. Yeah. A lot of these pictures is the moment after I capture the moment. Yeah, but it works for you to have an idea of what I'm trying to show here. Okay, so that's when I missed it, and that is when I, you know, I capture the moment. The other one when I missed it. Yeah, same here. This is, you see, that is what I was looking at. You know, this is a relay race. You know, so this girl is there, and when she sees her teammate running towards her, she runs, and they meet halfway. They high five, and that's the pass the baton kind of thing. so then she can carry on the race. So to me, that obviously I did miss the moment there. You know, although you can actually make out the hand, but to me that's very confusing. You know, it's not clear, is it? I mean, it's not clear. So you see that is much better picture, no? You know, and you have a lot of action there, yeah? You have a lot of action. Look, the guy is not even touching the floor. And what I was telling you before, that moment of anticipation, yeah? Just before things happen, you know, just that second before things happen is telling you the story. Novak Djokovic, again, he won the Mubadala tennis tournament many times. Can't remember which year is this, but it's one of those years. And when he wins the match, he celebrates. But you know, this guy just runs across. Oh, hello. This guy just runs across. I crop the racket. This guy is there. All the rest of it. So I'm cursing myself for missing the moment. But you know, I waited a little bit more, and the guy just moved, and everything went a little bit better and clear, and you know, and so I'm a lot happier with this picture. Again, this is after the event. This is during Bale, the Real Madrid player, during last year's FIFA Club World Cup in Abu Dhabi. So that's not really a nice action shot, is it? But, you know, this, again, is not a fantastic shot, but it tells you a little bit more about, you know, the action. At least the ball is there, you know, and the guy had to jump. Anyway, it's telling you more than the previous one. Again, this girl is during the Tough Mudder or the Spartan, I can't remember. So for me, that, you know, the face is kind of obscure there. It doesn't, it's in the, you know, this is in the way. It's not really telling you much. But then you see, this is a little bit better, yeah. That is a little bit better. Her eyes are nearly looking here. Perhaps I can't make out, but this is a little bit better picture than the previous one. Same thing here. You know, you don't know what's going on. She's looking down. I don't know what's going on. And again, this is not a fantastic action shot, but this is a little bit better. You know, these are just for you guys to understand what I'm trying to tell you. But at least here, you know, you can see her face. She's looking up to her hands. You know, there's something going on there. Then again, you know, obviously doing an event, she's cleaning her face, but it's not really nice. It's not very nice picture. So, but the one before, see, that is better picture. You know, it's telling you more of a story. And it's capturing the moment better. Same thing as the previous one, you know, her face is obscure, looking down, her eyes are closed. You don't, you know, it's not really a nice picture. See, this is a little bit better. You know, it's a little bit cleaner. You know, it tells you a little bit more, you know. Again, you know, the guy, you don't know what's going on with this guy, do you? I mean, he's just hanging there, you know. He could be hanging there for half an hour. You know, we don't know. But then it is a little bit better, you know. That anticipation that I was telling you. You see that hand in the air with only 1 point of contact with the world, you know, everything, oh, hello. Everything else is in the air and it's all action. It tells you more about the event. And also the angle, having changed the angle, also it tells you, you know, the background there, there's other competitors coming that way. So this is a little bit better also. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Same thing, you know, you don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on here with the projector. Sorry, Kasim.
Sorry, how many frames do you shoot every
Uh, well, I'm on high speed, but not always. Not always, because I am a little bit lazy. So I don't like to come back after doing this event, having to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and work, sorry guys, work all day. And then I don't want to spend, 5 hours editing. So I do use the motor drive when I need to use it. But a lot of the time, I just go by finger. A lot of the time. I'm not saying always, but I do use it. And I'm not too crazy about, having one frame more, or, the cameras that I'm using are the latest cameras. So they are like, I think they're 14 frames per second. I can't remember. You see, I'm not very technical. So you can catch me out with technical questions, yeah? Going back, yeah, we'll do, ask questions if you want in the middle. Yeah, it's no problem. All right.
You were taking photo of that lady when there's some obstacle in front of you.
Right.
Her face is not very well. So do you move or you wait till she becomes in a better situation?
The answer is both, but in that particular situation, I would have probably waited. But I think, let me just go back, see if is it far out? Okay, let me just go back quickly. There you go. I think I moved, you see, because, and you see, we have this here. We have that. So I probably, I don't know if I cropped it. I can't remember now if I cropped this one, but I think I probably moved a little bit. This one? Oh, this one. More? More? Oh, this one. No, this looks like much the same location, you see? And sometimes if you wait and it won't happen, maybe the girl will not move and you'll miss the picture, But the answer is a bit of both. If it's a developing situation, like know that she will keep moving, and you can sometimes you can predict her trajectory. So you think, if I do this, then I am in the right spot to catch her when she comes into that frame, And then you have to be lucky also. I mean, you have to be lucky that when she's in that frame, that she's actually doing something interesting with her face, or that she's not closing her eyes or looking back, or So it's a bit of luck always, Always is anticipation, and the more you know the sport, the more anticipation you will have to predict when it's going to be that pinnacle of action. So it's very difficult when you do a new event, a new sport. If you don't know it, it's very difficult to catch a good moment. You have to really try until you understand a little bit the movements and the actions. It happened to me to that netball tournament. It was a little bit frustrating in the beginning, because I couldn't, I've never covered that. So you don't know when is the right moment. So you go and do a session and come back in front of your computer and say, wow, I'm rubbish, And then you think, no, but then these guys, and then once you do 2 or 3 times, then and then you can anticipate a little bit better. Not only the action, but also your positions in the court, in the field. Also, that's super important, And that, unfortunately, only comes with experience. You have to go and, when you go to a new event or a new sport, see what the professionals are doing. Not to copy them, but obviously those guys, they have more experience than you, and they know more or less where they're going to be better positioned to capture the action. So it's a good general rule to see where the professionals are and try to be with them for a little while, and always think for yourself. Don't think that it's only that the only place, but it's a good starting point. Okay, let's go forward. All right, same thing. I missed the action. I don't know what happened with this guy. I don't know what happened with this guy. There's something in his face. Anyway, horrible picture. But, this is a little bit better, and like what I was telling you, that anticipation, action, look, his face, and also the angle is telling, it's telling me that this guy is ahead of him. And because I changed the angle, you see other participants. So it tells you a little bit more about the event. Ole. All right. This is a little bit missing the action, but from a technical point of view. Again, that's after I captured the action in the frame before, but I wanted to show you because it's the same event that I was telling you before. These guys have to jump over some fire. So unfortunately, the way the track is set, these guys were coming right, I had the sun in front of me. So you see the shadows there. So very, very difficult to shoot. So you can either do silhouettes or you can try to do something like that, but still, it's all this is in the shade, So what I do is very simple, I just use my flash, it's very simple, and see how different it is, no? Just by using the flash, see how the picture changes, So that is more missing the moment by a technicality more than by not clicking at the right time. Again, now it's a bunch of bad pictures to show you that everybody takes really bad pictures. The only thing is that a lot of people don't show you, but anyway, I'm showing you. What I was saying to you, that 90% to 10%, that's pretty much, this is one of my 90% pictures, yeah. So this horrible picture, look at her face, that, the light is terrible. So to me, that's a complete miss. That's again a miss, what I want to do here is to see that flag is the finish of the race. So I want to see that flag fully open. So to me, that's a miss. Again, another horrible picture. We don't know what's going on. Obviously, the guy just fell, so I missed. It would have been nice for her to catch him halfway in the air, but he's on the floor. You don't know what's happening. It's cropped, and even technically, it's very, with a wrong shutter speed. So, bad picture, missing the moment, missing the action. Same thing, good idea, but these guys are out of the frame. Bad picture. Again, what's going on here? Can you tell me what's going on? No, you don't know. Is it a fish jumping? We don't know. So again, miss the action. The right one is coming later. It's not coming now. But it was a nice picture. But here, you don't know what's going on. Again, missing the action. Look at her face, closing her eyes. Light, terrible light. You don't know if he's going to punch her or give her a hug. You don't know. So it's a little bit of a miss, that. Same thing here. The car is just out of the frame. No good picture. Again, missing the flag. That's horrible, isn't it? Do you like that flag? Somebody likes that flag like that? All right. It doesn't tell me much. It's, I want to see that the name of the event, and it's, to me, and again, that's why photography is very personal, you know. But to me, it bothers me that the flag is all kind of like that, you know. So no, I don't like that display. Okay, I nearly missed it. I really missed it here. You know, that's the we're working with long lenses and very, you know, the subjects are very close to you. You have a very narrow window of opportunity, and obviously I really missed it there. Yeah. Same thing. I mean, it's perhaps a cool picture, but you know, that bothers me. You know, that I crop the guys. That really bother me. So to me, that's a big miss. And sorry. And then you will see later on the right picture of this angle, and you will see what I mean. Again, big miss for me. Really bad picture. You know, look at his face. Look at her face. The hair on her nose. You don't know what she's doing. Is she doing a karate strike, or you know, yeah, you don't know what's going on. Bad picture, you know. Missing the moment. Are you okay? Look, you okay there? Yeah, yeah. Tell me if I'm in your way. Again, this is a Red Bull event. I used to do a lot of stuff for Red Bull. I don't know if you guys saw this event. It's what is it called? Charles, you remember? It's the X Games or something like that. Anyway, they are the motorbikes, you know, that they do tricks and stuff. And they did it in the marina a few years ago. Very difficult event to cover, you know, photographically, because you have to be with a long lens at night, fast action, you know, very difficult. You know, obviously, for me, that is a big miss. You know, I can't use a picture when I have, you know, the wheel cropped in the frame. And that is not the only miss in this picture. The other miss is these guys, when they do their jumps, they do a trick, and half of that, or the trick is that let's say, they go on the bike and they stick their legs out, and there is a moment when their legs are extended, you know, and their body are extended, and that is 1 second or 2 seconds. And if you don't catch that extension of the movement, then you also, even if you don't crop the picture, but if you don't capture that culmination of his action, then you miss the picture. And also that is what the second problem here. You know, the guy is halfway through his movement, so that's also missing the moment. Okay, this is the last picture on this section, and I put it in the missing the moment, but I really like it. So what I wanted to tell you is that I don't know what you guys think, but I mean, I really like that car just going out. And although when I was doing the picture and I missed it, and I was cursing myself for missing it, but then when I came and I saw on the computer, I thought, actually, it's quite cool, you know, fine. Let's, you know, let's do a bit of marketing and say that I did it on purpose, you know. So that's why I put it, you know. Sometimes when you are doing the shot, you think that you didn't get it, but then perhaps you did get something different. And there is another example coming later on about me thinking that I missed completely the shot, but then it actually, on the computer, it turned out to be quite a unique picture. So we'll get back to that. Okay, Kasim? I've already talked about it. So we'll just look at the pictures and just ask me questions if you want, guys. At the end, obviously, we'll do questions, but if you want to stop and ask before we all forget. Right, I was telling you earlier about, you know, trying to trying to tell the story in one picture. There's a color run in Dubai, and then again the action. Is I love that. I always like. That is telling me something. She's in flight. And this little streak of color also that is telling you something. Yas Marina Circuit. Another event at Yas Marina. Kids starting a triathlon race. The swimming, obviously the swimming section. And not always you have to shoot things from the front. I was telling you earlier also that sometimes I like to be close to the action, and that's what I'm doing that. And you can't always do that. You can't do that with football, for example. They will never let you be that close to the players. But whenever you can, and I don't want to see you in the next events coming and taking my place now, eh? But yeah, if you can, as close as you can, is a good alternative. It gives you a different view, than the traditional long lens action. Again, long lens action. That is Matar Ismail, one of the very, very good Emirati football player. This is many years ago when he was Shabab. But again, that's again tells you a story. Look at the guy. Like what I was telling you. Although that is obscured there by his legs, but that he's not touching the floor. Look, he's completely in the air, and the ball is there. Look at his face there, and 4 guys surrounding him. Maybe the ball could have been there, so maybe it's not the perfect shot, but it does tell you the story, Again, trying to tell the story in one picture. This is another event in Yas Marina Circuit with a lot of people, so we wanted to show, the amount of people that participated in the shot, and perhaps artistically, it's not a fantastic shot, but from the editorial point of view, this is the shot that we sent to the media, to say, hey, we did this event, and look how successful it was. So, a lot of my work is PR related. So my clients employ me to do that, to be able to tell their story in one picture. So that's why also, not only that I want to do it, but also I have a responsibility to my clients to be able to do that. So, here, frame perfectly to name of the event, the 2 sponsors there, and it's telling you there were thousands of people doing it. Again, this is the FIFA Club World Cup many years ago when Barcelona came. Is the Sheikh Zayed Stadium in Abu Dhabi, which is the national stadium, and big wide fisheye lens. And I love that, that you can get the whole roof in one frame, and the fan with the Barcelona, the UAE, telling you the event, FIFA Club World Cup UAE 2000. Everything is there, I'm telling you the story in one picture. Again, it's a funny one. I can't remember the name of this tennis player. He's a professional tennis player, Dubai Tennis Championships. He got really upset for some bad shot that he did, and he smashed the racket, and the racket bounced right back, And anyway, I just got it more by chance, by anything else. But I just like the picture. That's the Abu Dhabi tennis tournament. That is an invitational tournament that they organize at the end of the year in December, and they invite 6 of the top players. And this is Rafael Nadal, who just won the US Open a few days ago. And then again, you know, it's telling the story, you know, is Abu Dhabi, full stadium, Rafael Nadal, you know, Rafael Nadal, that's it. That tells you the story. This is a Dubai Autodrome. It's just, I like the action of this guy, you know, the sense of urgency to come quickly and do something to the wheel. Going back at telling you the story in one picture. Again, same thing as a marathon. It's a Sheikh Zayed marathon, which, you know, that's it. And the dear leader is there, you know, in presence is there in the marathon. I think that has got all the elements to tell the story. And then again, like I was telling you before, most of these shots are done to be sent to the media. So, you know, I have to be very, very good at being able to tell the story like that. Yeah, yeah.
For such event, do you meet with the organizer saying what do you need to put such like Sheikh Zayed, so this picture, like the picture of Zayed in that location? Do you advise?
It depends on the client. I would say 70 or 80% of the time, they don't ask you, you know, they don't ask you what you want. And even if I go and I tell them, they probably won't listen for different reasons. Not because of any particular reason. It's maybe they're too busy or they cannot do it. There's no budget or whatever. But yeah, if you can advise, but most of the time it doesn't happen. I have a couple of clients that they are very good and they do come to me in advance and they do ask me what I think or what should we do, you know, where can we put this or where is better or, you know, and also I advise them on the other media, the other photographers, you know, not only for us to get the right picture, but also because I'm kind of official photographer, I also advise them on where to facilitate the locations for the other photographers, so everybody can get a good picture, you know, because I am you know, that day I am working for Yas Marina Circuit. So the objective from us is to make sure that all the newspapers and all the social media use a very good picture of our event. So it also falls into my responsibility to tell Yas Marina Circuit, look guys, the photographers and videographers is different, but the photographers, I would advise to put them here, and many times I do a little document that I tell them, you can go to this location, and then you can move to this location, and then you can move to this location. So I kind of suggest to the other media how to move around, so then they can get good pictures. Because, you know, we want everybody to get good pictures, you know. We don't want rubbish pictures out there of our event. So yeah, it depends of how you communicate and how willing is your client to listen to you.
Do you work here as a team of photographers? So somebody covering the start line, somebody covering the finish line, somebody covering in between?
It depends. No. Yeah. No, I work with a team, and 2 of the guys are here today. See if they learn anything. No, I have a team of guys, very good guys, but not always. You know, it depends on the event, it depends on the budget and stuff like that. But I think this one I was on my own there for this event. But yeah. I always say the more guys covering it, obviously the better, you know. Yeah, although I cropped this a little bit there, but I just like that action there, you know. Again, it's into the sun. It's technically it's not perfect, but it's, you know, for me, I think maybe because it was the first time I was covering this, I was very interested in. For me, that was very unique because I've never done it before. I know that is very normal, you know, to cool the horses down like this. But to me, that really caught my eyes, that action of the guy cooling the horse down. This was a desert triathlon. No, it was an event that they did. They did running. They did running in the morning, and then they did bicycle. Oh, when? Oh, when? This must be 4 or 5 years ago, maybe more, 6, maybe, about no less than 4 or 5 years ago. No. I covered this event 2 times, and then they didn't do it anymore. They only did it 2 times. It was a 3. There was teams, and there were some guys running, and then they go on the bicycles, and then they go on the horses. No, here in Dubai, in the endurance village. It was really nice. It's super, like 3 disciplines. But I don't know why they didn't run it anymore. But no, I've never done proper endurance. No, that was my only, experience with endurance racing. This again in Yas Marina Circuit, that's the triathlon, the international triathlon. And again, telling the story, the winner, celebrating ahead of crossing the line. And that obviously is placing you where it is. So also, obviously telling you the story. Again, I like the fact, you probably know by now that I don't like, if possible, I like to see people in the air. Again, I told you about my wide angles. Okay, well, that's another one. Yeah. This is very messy, you can't really, except that girl there perhaps, but it's kind of quite messy, the action, but that makes it all understood. All right, I think now is the time for a break. Yeah? Are we okay? Yeah. So who brought the croissants? Nobody, no croissants. All right. I don't know, guys, it's up to you. You do maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Sorry? Oh, you want, okay, you guys, yeah, because it's prayer time soon, no? Okay, so what do you want to do? Well, we'll wait 20 minutes then. It's okay, okay. Yeah, no, because I stopped now with the slides. So, well, we can do questions in the meantime, but if people want to go pray later, it's fine. We do 20 minutes. Yeah? We do 20 minutes, okay. And I wanted to show also a slide. There. Guys, just have a look at that. The Canon people, they're doing this. If you want to go, they have, if you want to buy something from the store, that's what, use that code for discount. And then I will, sorry? Yeah, I know. You need more.
I'm still waiting that they reach 40%.
I've got my camera back here, guys. So I'm going to open it now if you want to have a look, because I think in the past people have asked me, what do you have in your bag? Or, you know, so it just I was cleaning it yesterday because it was a mess. And I was really surprised the things that I have in there. Hey, Varun, how are you?
Good.
Nice to see you. You want this? Switch it off. So I don't. Okay, so now I can. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, hello. Okay, guys. Shall we restart? In, then we can have a bit of time at the end, hopefully to do more questions. Guys, I don't know if some people left at the end of the break, but Canon has very kindly offered this for the workshop. There's a discount code there for the store. So I'm sure you can remember Canon 20. So that's if you need that. I don't remember if there's a video now or not. Right. Okay, guys. We'll also some people left at the end of last session. I opened my bag here, and it's a mess now. But but anyway, at the end, if anybody wants to come and have a look, welcome, and I can also answer some questions there. I'll leave it like that. I'm not going to tidy up. Fine. Well, like any photographer will tell you, the basics of photography is light. So you have to work with light. And obviously, this is no different when you're doing action and, and sports. Super, super important. I've just selected a few random pictures with when the light is kind of important. So we'll just go through them. It's just to show you what you can do with light, even during events and stuff like that. Okay, low sun, afternoon sun with creates long shadows. So it's a matter of using that light and those shadows a little bit creatively, and it's a lot of this is seen, and say, oh yeah, that looks really nice. So it's not rocket science, but you have to be kind of aware of these situations, and these situations don't last long. You have to be very quick because it's, the sun changes very quickly. Again, not a terribly brilliant picture, but when I'm doing editorial photography, I'm quite far away from the interview area. I don't want to be there. I don't want to do a normal picture of the guy, just a face talking with a microphone in his face. So I was lucky I had a higher vantage point, but the light was terrible. And obviously I didn't want to use a flash from where I was, because I would have been, lighting everybody else. But I was lucky that there was a video guy with the lights, and he was just shining the. So it's a lot of this is seeing the opportunity and grabbing it to your advantage. Again, what I was telling you earlier about telling the story, super important for me. Obviously, the story of the marathon is at the end rather than the beginning, but also that is an important moment during the event. When the marathon starts, it's night. There is no, there's no sun. So what I did here, I put a flash, a big flash on the side there, and and I shot it remotely from far away, to be able to frame the name of the event with with the sponsors and anyway, so I think I had two flashes. Yeah, I had one flash there for that. Yeah, there was two flashes. One flash for the for the gantry, and another flash from this side for the runners. So very, very difficult to operate with remote flashes in the middle of the race, in the middle of the morning. Everybody's running around, and you don't know if they will kick the flash or whatever. You don't know, you know. So again, it's super important to be very confident with your equipment, because you can't actually tell them, you know, guys, can you go back and do it again because the flash didn't fire, you know. So same thing of the tennis, you know, play with a nice light, creates nice shadows, and you know, that in the frame tells a story. Same thing, you know, it's just to see that ray of sunshine coming through late in the afternoon.
Mostly 400 millimeters, right?
That is a 400. That is probably a 200. That's a 200 from the top. Yeah. Yeah, definitely that's 200. That's a 400. And this could be at 400 with a 1.4 converter that makes it a 540 or 560. It's, you know, a kart racer. Again, the light is not fantastically good here. So I just put one of the little flashes, you know, one of the Canon flashes with a little stand, you know, probably on the bonnet of the car there. And because the light, you see, the light comes from the front, you know, you can see the reflection in the steering wheel, and it just makes it pop out, you know. Again, not a fantastic prize-winning picture, but it's just an example for you to know what you can do during an event. And all this is very quickly, you know, when you see the guy is not waiting for you, you know, he's in the middle of an event. He's got a race to run, so, or to drive. So he's not going to wait for you. So you have to be very, very quick to set up, you know, the flash, put it on the thing, put it there, run back, and quickly do it. So again, the reliability of your equipment is crucial. Again, this is there's no light. That's why I put this. This was the same day when it was raining, so the light was very, very flat. So, but then even there was no good light, I still managed to, you know, to get a good action and good colors there, despite of the bad light. Again, this is Venus Williams, the tennis player. Again, this was very, very quick. My client, Dubai Duty Free, they wanted to, Dubai Duty Free is a tennis championship. It's a tournament that I cover as official photographer for, again, more than 20 years now. And this was a couple of years ago, and they wanted to do a very quick shot of her with the trophy during the tournament. She didn't win it or anything, but they wanted to do one with the trophy, like to start the tournament, you know. So yeah, they decided on this. This is a practice court. It's not even the main court. So, you know, it's all around here. It's all, you know, it's not very good background. So I wanted to avoid showing the background. So I found a ladder, and so I wanted to shoot from the top. And the light, I use one of these little flashes again on a little very light stand. It's just to give a little bit of light there, because otherwise it would have been really, really flat and boring. And that worked. Then again, you know, don't be afraid to shoot into the sun, you know, because that's probably when you get really, really interesting shots. You know, there are some basic rules in photography that, you know, they say, oh, always shoot with the sun in your back, so the subject is well lit. And it's absolutely true, it's fantastic, but, you know, those rules, be a bit of a rebel, and those rules, you can break them, you know, and I'll tell you, when you break those rules, you will come up with nice stuff, you know. So don't be afraid to shoot into the light. And I like this shot. It's very moody and it's very much against the rule of shooting. Don't shoot into the sun. I was good question. I was on the back of a pickup. We were moving. Yeah, we were moving. Yeah. Again, yeah, I forgot about that. I nearly fell off one time doing these things. Yeah, because I wasn't strapped in. Anyway. Pardon? But here we don't go very fast. We maybe do 60 kilometers an hour in the circuit, and I use a slower shutter speed to get the sense of movement. That's what I do, because it's super dangerous to do fast action. So it's a little bit of cheating, but it's not really cheating. But again, good point. When you do these kind of things, I always tell people that work with me that nothing is more important than your own safety. So, if you feel that, if you're doing a job or whatever, if you feel that you're not safe, don't risk it. It's not, you can miss the job, or you can lose one small client or one client. But if something happens to you, it's not good. Then again, this is another event in Dubai. I can't remember the name of it. No, it will say. We will see. We'll find out what is the name. But basically, it's a run that the guys leave running from the Dubai Autodrome, and then there is a chase car that comes chasing them at 15 kilometers an hour or something like that. So the car is kind of, the runners are running, and they spread out, because some runners run faster than others. And the car keeps getting closer. And when the car goes past the runner, that runner is out of the race, right? And the car carries on, and basically until the car overtakes the last guy running. And this is the last guy running, and he's the winner anyway, because he's the last one. So this is a very difficult moment, because you are chasing them. For example, here I was in the back of a motorbike. So you are chasing them, so you have to be really, really quick to see when the car is going to overtake him, because as soon as the guy overtakes him, the runner stops, and they go to the side, and the guys, the organizers come with the trophy, and he celebrates wherever he is. So it's really difficult. So anyway, so I shot that shot, and then I shot that one. But I do like that one as well. But that is obviously that's a shot that they will use. Again, using light in the autodrome. Sorry, the Yas Marina. Obviously you can see the light coming from this side. I had the flash there, and to make my life a little bit easier, I put it near the line, so I could see more or less where when to shoot, and because the flashes don't recharge very quickly, so you kind of have one shot only. So that's why I was using this line as a guide, But I like this because you can see, his eyes and everything is nice. No, I think this is a more powerful. I think it's a Pro Photo. Yeah, it's more powerful. You can still use those. I mean, the Canon flashes will keep up. Perhaps it won't be at such a strong light, Yes, 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 and
But they're aware. I mean, the participants are aware of some
now they are. No, no. Sometimes you can't go to every single guy and say, "Look, I'm going to shoot you with a flash. Do you mind?" So sometimes you have to be. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give you the wrong message here, but sometimes you can't be so good. Sometimes you have to be a little bit naughty. And yeah, I mean, I would definitely ask the circuit. And they will, if they say it's okay, then I am clear. I will not, you're absolutely right, I will not just go and put it, if, I don't know, if, I will not do it in, when Barcelona is playing, I'm not going to use a flash because, they'll probably kick me from this country and this world probably, but yeah, within reasons, if you clear with the organizers, it should be okay. But they will be the best people to tell you, actually, no, the riders will not want it. But also, the flash is from the side, I'm not, I'm shooting, you see? I'm shooting from the side. I'm not shooting, the flash is not coming there. So I am aware of things like that, for sure, yeah. And nothing is more important than safety than a picture, but within reason, you can play a little bit. Same thing. I mean, this is with a little flash. Just very, very quickly. Take it out of my pouch, put it on the stand. Yeah, put it in front, pointing out, and yeah, and just shoot away. Nice. That's again the fisheye lens. I use the fisheye.
I've seen you have a lot of low-angle shots.
Ah, yes.
Are you shooting with a live view or you are
No.
on your belly?
On my belly. You see, I've got a lot of padding here. So yeah, no. I always shoot through the viewfinder. I'm old school. I'm hoping now. I've just started using the new R, the mirrorless. I don't know yet because I haven't used it enough. But yeah, with that you can shoot through the viewfinder, and it's all exciting stuff. You can do things with your fingers and focus with your finger. And I think I will like it, but it'll take a little time. But no, I use I do a lot of low angle shots, and I'm always on my belly. Yes, good observation. That was that motorbike shot event that I told you a few years ago, and then again, this is not. Oh, what did I do there? Oh, there you go. That one. See, that is not the. I was telling you about the right moment of the motorbiker, but I love this picture because it was during practice, and that just passed by, and I was waiting for a bike to quickly come, and it wasn't coming, and then when it came, I just shot it, and okay, I don't care if the guy is not doing the right thing, but I think I don't know if you agree, but I think it's a nice shot. It tells you the event, sunset, pretty, the Dow. It pretty much tells you where it is. So I really like this picture. Sorry? Ah. All right. Okay. Just a little bit about the slideshow. That was like I told you before, it was a job that I did a few years ago. For many years, like 10 years, I went to the US to do these kind of jobs. This is the last one that we did. It was basically my client selected people from different parts and took them to the US and make them do different activities. Like, so this is basically at the end of the event. It's a 10 days event. And on the 10th day, they had the farewell party, and we had to produce a slideshow to be shown at the party. So this is what we've done while we were shooting and moving and going and doing all the activities. At the same time, we were, making the slideshow. And it's really nice when you see it all together. It's about 10 minutes all together. But I cut it out on sections, not to break out the presentation a little bit. But that I wanted to tell you a little bit about that slideshow. Okay, well, we talk a little bit about angles, like you. Yeah. Yeah, low angles. Yeah, I don't be afraid, to do low angles. Like I was saying earlier, I go a lot on my belly and I shoot from low. Same thing. This is tennis player Rafael Nadal going down these steps down there, and he's going out of the stadium, but all the people around asking for autographs. So I thought that was a really, really good angle to tell the story, Same event is Roger Federer. Again, lower angle and, frame through the net. Same thing, lower angle. And again, don't always do what everybody else does, like everybody, all the other photographers are shooting that way, and I thought, well, that is a nice picture, looking, exactly the opposite of what everybody else is doing. And to me, again, I mean, that to me is a very nice shot that tells also the story from a different angle. Again, low, you you should have kept quiet for 5 more minutes. You went ahead of you. Anyway, this is the Dubai horse race. Again, low angle. Try to, the horse is the hero here. I try to go low, so then I can make the horse and the rider stand out against the clean sky. And it's got some, for example, I don't like that, but anyway, it is there, so it's nothing I can do about it. I also like the fact that, it's very difficult to get the horses on a right, on the right step. But at least, I don't think it's brilliant, but it's not bad. And, it's got attitude, that horse and the ride. I like this, yeah. And the background, that's that fantastic building in the background. It tells you where you are. Same event from a different angle. This is far away from the end. All this area here is the Maidan, and then it comes around here, the hotel, and it's a big building. So I went right to the end, and I think this is the 400 lens. I can't remember, but whatever. I wanted to, the action sometimes to tell the story, it's not always been that close. Sometimes, that for me tells a really nice story with all the people there and the horses and stuff. So, it's 2 different angles. The previous horse in a wide angle, and this one with the far, with the... No, for the setting of the camera, I judge, if it's a night event and that is a light, I kind of do a few tests, and I put the ISO that I think will be okay for the whole event. Obviously, if you're changing locations, or if you go inside and there's less light or more light, or if you use flash, then you have to remember to change. But probably there I was using high ISO. I was probably on 4,000 or something like that. Yeah. Very, very, very rarely. Again, I am old school. Exactly, I'm old school. I come, my learning in photography came when they were film. you know, when we had to shoot with film. So first of all, you didn't have the luxury of having, I think probably the highest ISO in film that you could buy was 3,200, but that was horrible. So, you know, in the back of my mind, I always strive not to use, and I know now the cameras are very capable of handling, and you know, I am being very brave when I use 4,000 ISO, but I know you can use more, and in post-production you can minimize the effects of using high ISO. Yeah, but yeah, that I try to use as little as possible, but you know, I have to make sure that my shutter speed is the shutter speed that I want, you know, to freeze the action. So I guess I would start with the shutter speed that I want, and then put an ISO more or less that will let me do to freeze the action. Yeah. Again, same event, a little bit earlier, a completely different lens, completely different angle. All right. Yeah, again, angles. We're talking about angles. You know, everybody is there to shoot the winner coming towards you, which is, you know, I'm not telling you not to do that, because that is probably what everybody expects. But sometimes, if you think, again, you do the opposite, you know. And I really like this picture because it actually tells, to me, it tells more of a story than, you know. Also, you have to remember who, I mean, if you're working for yourself or if you're working for somebody, you have to remember who is your client, obviously. If your client is this lady's father, then he will not give a damn about you shooting from the back. He will want you to shoot her coming towards, you know. He will want to see the sponsor, her sponsors, they will want to see her face and her branding. But for example, for this event, I'm working with Yas Marina circuit, and we are not so concerned about the close action. It's more of the story, you know. So for me to change the angle, to be able to see this, you know, you can tell the whole story there. You know where you are. You have the hotel in the background. You know, you have the winners band there, and you have the winners celebrating. I mean, that's, for me, that's more than enough for what I want to do. And she's floating. And she's yeah. Right. Okay. Having said that, I like to freeze the moment, which is fine, but also you can do the motion, completely the opposite. Let the motion, show the motion, you know. So we'll try to show a few pictures that you can do that. This is a horse race. And this is one of the shots I told you earlier that when I did it, I thought, damn, I had a very low shutter speed. I didn't get the picture. But then when I went back to editing, I saw it and I thought, actually, I mean, I like it. You know, it looks like a painting, you know. And yeah, I'm sure. Pardon?
It's an idea.
Is it? You like it? Yeah. Okay, good. Good.
Intentional camera movement or
No. It's all a fluke. It's an incident. It's all a mistake. I'm not, yeah, not intentional at all. When I shot it, I thought, oh, I didn't, you know, I had the wrong shutter speed. But then again, when I saw it in the computer, I thought, actually, it's not too bad, so we'll keep it. So, yeah, I'm not afraid to admit it. Again, you know, a bit of, you know, background blurred, you know, and super difficult. You know, a lot of people do it on post-production, which is fine. Again, I'm old school. I like to do it on the camera if I can. Same thing, you know. The car, sharp, and the background. In Bahrain. Yeah. Same thing. Yas Marina. Yes, Marina. Yep. Again, focus there and let the action happen in front of you.
Set application, like somebody put the code over there.
Yeah, this is Audi has experience days, and they invite customers or whatever, and they let them try the car, and they set up little courses in the Dubai Autodrome. So the cones are there to tell them where to go.
The codes, put in a way that it is set up already, or it's somebody hit it up.
No. They are supposed to be like that. Those cones mean to the driver that they have to go left. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, they are supposed to be like that. Same thing, a bit of movement. All right, Kasim? Yeah? Something will happen in front of you you didn't expect. So, you have to always be ready for that. This was a normal corner, and the guy just came round and had a puncture, just, 100 meters before where I was, and started, the rim started, making all these sparkles. That's in Bahrain. Again, amateur, it's a company day. I was just doing the shots, and the ball just came to where the camera was. This is Novak Djokovic again, winning the Dubai tennis tournament a few years ago. It got cancelled. Normally the final is on Saturday night, but it was raining, so they postponed it for the next day. So they played, I can't remember if they play in the morning. No, it must be in the afternoon, because the light is coming from this side. Yeah, they played like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And anyway, and that's when he won it, and celebrated like that. I love this. I was in the Bahrain circuit doing the race, and then I saw this guy running the other way, and I just started shooting, and I was a bit lucky that the car came the other way, but I like it. I think it's again, it's not a prize-winning shot, but it's a funny one. Again, the first time I was doing this is a darts competition, and you might laugh, but it's quite exciting. It's a very good event to photograph. And the players, the guy, when he got a point, or I can't remember what, he turned around and celebrated like that. I mean, it caught me by surprise. Apparently they do it all the time, but it was the first time I saw it, so I thought it was super interesting. Look at the intensity of that celebration. Again, this guy, it was during a Audi event at the Autodrome, and he's a customer, driving one of these Audi, I think they're Audis, no? Audis, yeah. The R8s, no? Yeah, I do a lot of car photography, but I don't know much about cars. I know the guy was there playing with his helmet, so I thought, well, that's a brilliant picture, Anyway. Same thing, Djokovic. Again, it's not a brilliant picture, but, it's very, very unexpected for me to see the guy jumping and trying to get to the ball. Celebrations at the end of an amateur football tournament. Right. What happens next? That was the shot I told you. Remember in the beginning that I said that I missed the first shot? So that's the other one that I selected. And I think it's a quite a nice shot. A little story behind this. I was doing it with a remote camera, because I wasn't standing anywhere. I was standing on the floor, and I put a camera with a fisheye lens on a long monopod. It's actually not a monopod. It's one of those. I'm telling you all my secrets now. One of those sound. The video guys, when they have the The microphones, extensions, the booms. Sorry, thank you, booms. So I put it on those booms, which is quite long. So I put it there with my pocket wizards. So and I'm there, guessing where what I'm shooting, and then for sure I'm shooting a motor drive there, because I don't know really. I cannot see. I have a screen also that you can have in front of you, but with a long cable, and it's just complicated. So, but it works okay. So I'm happy with that. I don't know what happened. Well, the focus, I'll probably put the foolproof focus, which is the big, square. So, and the lens will, and the camera will keep up with it. Yeah. Again, jump. It's an event. The guy is jumping, going up and going to the other side. That was the other shot that I was telling you that I missed. Remember when I told you there was it a fish? So again, it probably would have been better if the guy was maybe there, so it would be fully against the sky. But nobody's perfect. But still, it's a nice picture. Same thing, you don't know what's going to happen. Is he going to make it? Is he going to turn? He made it. Right, and this is the last section. Again, I love to capture the emotions when I'm doing sports. So we'll see a few pictures representing that. Again, that's my friend Messi. When they won the championship here, the Club World Cup in 2008. Pardon? Sorry? Barcelona? No, you're right. No, you're right. Absolutely right. But it's. I like the picture. I like that. Look, he's celebrating the guy there. It's so much contrast. And it's all this in 1 second. That's what I like. And then going back to the amateur. Going from Messi to a little kid who is learning to play football. And the guy just scored a goal, and look at that. Look at his face. I love that. And when I approach every situation the same way. It touches me when I see a big athlete, celebrating like that, and then you see a little kid, celebrating the same way. For me, that is the essence of the sport. That's the pinnacle of the sport. Same thing. I should be celebrating there, because that is in the rugby. Remember I told you that I used to spend 9 in the morning to, even when it rained. Remember one year it rained the whole day, and I was there getting wet with my cameras, getting wet for all those hours. So I think I was very happy that the match finished, so I could go home and have a soup. Same thing, after a race, that is that moment. It's that moment when all that effort, all that training, all that money, it comes to that particular second to me. I find it really, really interesting. Same thing, the guy just let it go. This guy is a Saudi driver who is not super successful, or it wasn't when I was doing these photos for Porsche. He was always fighting, but he was not always winning. Actually, I think that was the first time he won. And look at that. The guy just let all his... And normally he's a very cool guy, very relaxed. And it was brilliant to see that personality coming out. And look at the jump. Same thing with the Spanish player winning the Dubai Open a few years ago. Celebrating back to his family. And that is, again, that's knowing the sport, when you're covering the tournament or the match, tennis is a long it takes a long time. It's 2-3 hours, could be 2-3 hours, and then many matches during the week. So you learn where the guy turns when he celebrates or when he curse, like, "Argh." So he always turns to his coach or to his family. So and then after a while where they are, where they're sitting. So obviously towards the end of the match, you wiggle, and you position yourself kind of just in front of his family, because that when he wins, he's going to turn and celebrate. Yeah, but that's the lens. That's the 2.8. Yeah, the big 2.8. And you have to use that at night, because there's not enough light. If you use any more, you don't get enough light. And that's why it's so critical. Also, when you're using a 2.8, then it's very short, the amount of focus that you can do.
Which mode you usually shoot?
I normally, when I do action, I do time. I choose the speed. Yeah, I choose the speed, the shutter speed. Yeah, shutter priority. Yeah. Always when I'm doing sports. Yeah, because I want to freeze that moment. Again, it's the amateur team that you saw a similar picture earlier. I mean, that maybe he's going to become a fantastic player and very famous, but most likely no. He's probably be a photographer or a engineer or something. So the pinnacle of his career, that might be the pinnacle, the top of his sporting career, and and he's letting everything out. I love that. And it's not a brilliant picture, but I love this, because it's probably from the same generation that's me. But you see the old guy on a run. It's just not competing with anyone except himself. And I don't know, he's probably one of the last guys to come through the finish line. But look at him. I mean, he's like he won, All right. Kasim?
How do you feel about the action cams? The GoPros. Do you use it? What's your opinion about it when it comes to doing these kinds of?
Okay. Again, I'm old school. A lot of those shots that you saw there, for example, at the end here, that you saw that some wide angles of the rafting with the rafter, with the guys with the water and all that. That is not a GoPro. That was a Canon 1D, I think, with a case and a remote control. And I'm destroying. I think they're great. The GoPros and the cameras. I just and I know that lately, or the last models are quite good quality. But I was doing that way before GoPro came out. I'm too old. But everything that you see there is been done with reflex camera, with the big cameras, with professional cameras. I think they're great. The GoPros and all the rest of it, they're great. I still like to use the professional cameras to do those shots. Sometimes and to be honest, a lot of the time I don't use the GoPros, because I have kind of older versions and I don't like the quality of the images. But I'm sure you guys are a lot more into that than me, and I know now the quality is much better. So I guess I should try. But what you see there is all done with the normal professional cameras.
You go to your locations according to your clients asking you to go to that locations, or you may pop up to some place and then take photos and then share it with the client. Say, hey, I've taken photos for your event, and I'd like you, for example, to buy it, for example.
No. I mean, my clients call me
It's
before.
pre-planned. I mean, it's
Yeah. No, they call me before. They call and said, we need you to come and do this event for us. Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Yeah. No. I don't go and take the pictures and then offer the photos. No.
Okay. So for us as beginners, do we have the same capability to pop up to those places and get the same location like you, or do we need, or is it possible that we can do that?
In some events, yes. And I'm happy to help if you guys want to do some photography, from now on. I mean, I work closely at Yas Marina Circuit and some other events. It shouldn't be a problem. Even if I'm not there, you can just go and go to the media office and just say, look, I want to do some pictures, and they will tell you where to go or where you are allowed to do. But in general, the less important events, they are open, pretty much open, and you can go and practice, and I would suggest that you do. Other events like the tennis and the football and all that is a little bit more complicated with the permits. So if you, for example, if you want to practice football photography, go to the amateur tournaments. And maybe, you can even, sell your pictures even perhaps, the dynamics are the same, and like I said, I mean, I do those amateur tournaments and I really enjoy it, it's all action. So yeah, the lesser important events are easier, obviously, for you to access. Sorry, the lady, sir.
Thank you for sharing your knowledge. I just want to know something. You mentioned a while ago that it's good or it helps that you can't predict the event or the event. What if you're not familiar with the event? What is your piece of advice for the photographer?
Well, what I do when somebody calls me for a new event, first of all, I just go online. I mean, there's no reason why you should learn online, not like 10, 20 years ago, you didn't have the internet. So yeah, go online and look at pictures, professional pictures, look at videos. That's one thing, you learn and you see the angles. The other thing is learn about if it's a sport like, I don't know, like netball, learn a little bit about the rules, see how long is the match, when do they break, how many players, what is the scoring system, all those basic things. You need learn a little bit about the sport. Yeah, and then once you arrive to the location, and you get your pass. Hopefully that they let you shoot in the court, for example. But before that, you ask the people there. You say, how is it going to work? Where are they going to come? A few questions there on location, and then the rest is a little bit your brain really to see, where you think is the best angles. Where are the best angles, and practice. I mean, when I did the netball, I'm mentioning the netball because I did last week. I did the fighting in Abu Dhabi. I don't know if somebody knows about the UFC. And again, I've never done it before. It's super, super difficult. But then again, that was a new challenge for me, to do something new. So yeah, and that's what I did. Exactly, that's what I did. But they didn't let me come too close. The gentleman wanted to. No.
With the development of digital photography, how has that affected business for professionals, if you like? Because it seems now that everybody's got digital, everybody can take pictures.
Well, yeah. Well, it's very, very good questions, and when digital came out, it was for me it was in 2000, and I embraced it. I loved it. I loved the new technology and the new challenge. And yeah, that's a question that quite often is asked. I think definitely is widened the field. Digital has helped a lot of people get into photography, and a lot of people, the digital photography has let people express themselves and be better. You know, a lot of people have improved their photography because of digital. And on the same level, it has helped me improve my photography. So, you know, although there is competition and there's more people because it's very popular, and photography is really a big movement. It has been for the last few years, and it's ever growing, as we have testament here with this. HIPAA is a fantastic place. You know, it has helped a lot of people who before would be at this level, you know, and let's say the professionals would be at that level, right? So a lot of these people have been able to come up to this level. But these guys, the professionals, also, they had a jump as well. So if you want to ask about business, it's always difficult, you know, it's always difficult. Personally, I don't think it has really affected me in a big way. And on a personal note, I think it's fantastic. I think it's you know, everybody's doing photography now, even with the telephones, you know, and it's fantastic. And I follow a lot of groups and stuff, and, you know, a lot of amateur things, and it's fantastic what people are doing. I think it's great. I'm not scared, you know, of the mass spreading of photography. Just the opposite. I'm very excited, you know. And the minute the minute I'm not good, then I'm not good, you know. If somebody's better than me, you know, that's that's the end of it. But, you know, in the meantime, you know, as a professional, you always think how to do things better. You know, you don't. I mean, you know, I have a lot of experience, but I don't sit there with my. You know, I'm always trying to see the new things and improve. And same thing that you guys are doing now by coming here. You are hopefully, you know, getting motivated and getting, you know, you're going to improve your photography, hopefully. The same thing I do, you know, I also like to improve. I don't sit there and wait, you know. But I think it's really, really good what is happening. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of the spreading of photography. Bring it on.
How you used to cover the desert rallies in Abu Dhabi during film days compared
to... okay. Well, Charles, he wants me to tell you a little bit about how I used to operate before digital. Yeah, that is a little bit related to that. Well, in the old days, I got a contract to cover the rallies in the Middle East. And part of that contract was to be, I had to be able to send pictures, right? And now it sounds to most of you, it will sound really silly. But, 25 years ago, that was groundbreaking. How can this guy can go to the middle of the desert, take the picture, and then, within 3 or 4 hours, the picture in Dubai, let's say, take a picture in Dubai, and within 3 or 4 hours, the picture will be in a newspaper in Saudi Arabia. And that was part of my contract. So, I had to, at that time, I didn't even know how to turn a computer on, right? So I had to investigate, get a computer, get a scanner, a film scanner. Do you know what that is? Anyway, it's a machine that scans films and converts into digital. So yeah, and so I had to go, and I used to go to the rallies with a big suitcase. I had my chemicals, and I had my tanks, and I had a black bag where I put it over my head, and I put, when I shot, I put the film, inside in the dark. I roll it in a container, and then I had to make the chemicals in the middle of the desert, develop, dry it, dry it with a hand dryer, attached to my car, and I've always been bald from many years. And imagine when I went to the shop before that, when I was getting ready, asking for a hair dryer, everybody laughed at the shop. So anyway, I was to dry the films and then cut it and then scan it, all connected to the car, with the transformer, and then, onto the computer, and then from the computer into my mobile phone. But that's after, but I forgot. Before the mobile phone, I used to do that in the hotel room. I used to shoot, come back quickly, develop in the hotel room. There was no internet, there was no internet. So I had to send the pictures with a modem. I had to call, let's say I was in Jordan, and I had to call Saudi Arabia and say, hey, Mohammed, I'm ready to send. Okay, when I hang up, the next time you put the modem on receive. Okay, fine, so hang up. So, okay, call. So the modem on the other side would answer and then connect, and then, now I'm connected. Okay, send, and send the picture. That was even before internet. So, yeah, that was in the old days. So, obviously, I was in the middle of all that when digital came out. So, for me, it was a massive revelation. So, I embraced it. And at that time, I was shooting with Nikon. I had all Nikon cameras. But Canon was the fastest brand to come out with a digital, and they came out with a 1D? I think it was 1D. The first proper digital camera, and Nikon didn't have any idea yet when they were going to launch. So that's when I switched all my equipment to Canon, and I've stayed with Canon ever since. Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Ferrari. I think we're running out of time.
They're kicking us out.
Last question, please. Last question.
Thank you very much. I want to ask you, when you take photo for work, you have some photo like for your hobby, luxury, or just for only work?
I was afraid somebody would ask that because I do a lot of photography in my life, in my work, and I love it. I couldn't change it for anything. But when I have downtime, it's a little bit difficult for me to get the cameras and go and do something on my own, which is very, I don't know, I need that. Personally, I need to have a break from photography when I can, because I have other interests in my life. I have other things to do. I'm not going to lie to you and say, photography is my everything in my life. It's a big, big part of my life, but it's not the only thing in my life. So, and I think when I take a break from photography and I do anything else, I do a lot of other stuff. When I take a break, I always come back super, super refreshed and with passion to carry on doing stuff. I get the satisfaction of doing a good job, and and that's what but yeah, I should really do a little bit more personal projects. I just don't have the time. Because when I have the time, I like to ride motorbikes or go fishing or other things, or family and stuff. Yeah. All right.
All right.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the beautiful lecture. Please, we want to take a group photo at the reception area, and make sure you get your certificates of attendance from the receptionist. And please make sure you fill the satisfaction survey that we will send you by email, and see you again in another HIPAA lecture. Thank you.